Good morning, everyone, to Marketing Matters. I am Sarah Touchstone, your landmark title social media strategist and educator. We bring you Marketing Matters every Wednesday at 10 a.m. This is Landmark Title's very own webinar, bringing you the most up-to-date ideas, tips, trade, top producers, people that are the go-to in the industry when it comes to marketing your real estate business. Today, I am joined with Rose Short of EXP's Snowbird Nation team. And Rose, she's been in the industry now for a couple of years. She just recently went full-time. She does more open houses than anybody I know. I mean, if it's a weekend, you can pretty much guarantee that Rose is out there hosting an open house. But she's also had some really great mentors that have helped her to craft how she brings open houses about. So I know that open houses are not every real estate agent's bag. And the great thing about this industry is that we have so many different ways to market yourself as a real estate agent and market your real estate business. Open houses are one of those avenues, though, and honestly, they're a really, really great avenue, not only for attracting buyers, but in this market, a lot of times people that are walking into open houses, they're not just looking to buy a house, they're also looking to sell their house. So I know just recently, Rose picked up not just a buyer, but a seller as well. So Rose, I'm super excited to have you on today. Let's dive into how to make your open houses successful.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that wonderful intro. And yes, I actually want to start with that story that you just mentioned. So a couple weeks ago, Sunday morning, first couple that comes through the house, they weren't really thinking they were serious yet. Looked over the house, fell in love with the floor plan. They happened to have just gotten this townhome that's completely paid off, given to them basically by their parents. And they're talking about, maybe selling and buying that house, but they weren't really sure. And so I said, hey, let me run a quick report on your property, looked it up and everything, gave them kind of a range of what it was looking like, and ended up meeting with them later that day to show them another house that they were interested in that was kind of near the open house. That one was already have, 12 offers. They weren't taking any other offers. And so it came back to the one that I showed them. And later that week, we got them under contract for the open house and under contract to sell their townhouse. So turned out to be a really, really great meeting, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing about open houses is a lot of people don't like them because, it's a long game, and it's like any other lead gen. It is driven by statistics. Like, I'm a data nerd, right? So 4% is pretty much what you can, get closed if you follow up. And that is the key, is follow up, follow up, follow up. So whenever we set up open houses, signage is huge. We can't rely on just anybody looking. Sometimes the people that come through that followed the signs are going to be your ones that want to sell, but they wouldn't have stopped by because they're not looking to buy. So make sure you've got plenty of signs. It's a pain to get them all up at the end of the day, but you know what? It is worth it. I promise you, put in the work. It always works out.
Rose, about how many signs do you usually put up for your open houses?
About 12 to 15, and from multiple directions. So you always want to kind of drive the neighborhood, look at it on the map and everything like that. Obviously drop them as you're driving in, but then also any other routes that people might take, drop some signs as well, just to make sure there's full visibility on the house. The second thing that we always do, set up outside. I have gone to so many open houses where the agent, and this is nothing against any other agent, please don't take it that way, but the agent's sitting inside at the kitchen table or whatever it might be, they're on their computer, they're not really paying attention, not engaging with anybody. And I get it, right? When a client comes in with their agent or comes in saying they have an agent, you don't, automatically you're like, okay, well, let me not, some people will, work that angle still and see how serious they are with their realtor. Others are very standoffish and don't even want to bother with it. And that's fine, but still have a conversation, right? You're there to promote the house. You're there to sell the house. and you're there to talk to people. So it does not make sense to be inside on the computer, not engaging with anybody that comes in. Engage with everybody, have them sign in, have them give you feedback on the house, talk to their realtor, see how serious they are. That way, if they put in an offer, if they've lost a few already, or if they're just looking and they're not really, hungry yet. Like, don't be the random person in the corner. Be outside, have music going, be having fun with it, and that's going to draw more people in. And then too, as you get the looky-loos who may not be coming in, wave at them, beckon them in. You get a lot of people coming into the open house just because you smiled and waved. So always, always, always set up outside. Very, very important. Now, some properties, obviously, you won't be able to, but set up as close to the door as you can in that instance, right? And that's another thing that's made us very, very successful. So again, like I said, it's a statistics game. So the market's constantly changing, but as I've been doing the open houses this year, what I'm seeing is Saturday, you get a lot of people coming through with their realtors or directed there by the realtors, people that have their realtor business card, anything like that. So Saturday's a day for realtors. Sunday is your day for unrepresented, looky-loos, and maybe more serious agents who don't want to deal with the crowd on Saturday, but they want to find out what offers you got from Saturday. So Sundays are super, super important for the open house. And I know a lot of people don't want to do it because they think it's going to be slower. And yeah, it might be slower, but quality over quantity is going to win every single time. Put the leads in your CRM and work your CRM. Again, follow up, right? Sometimes it's going to be a long game. I met about 3 clients these past 2 weekends at different open houses that really aren't looking to buy for another year for, they're rebuilding their credit or they haven't quite saved enough yet. But those leads are ones that I'm going to be constantly contacting throughout the year so that when they are ready, I'm fresh in their minds, right? So don't get discouraged just because someone's not looking to buy now. Wish them happy holidays, touch them through the CRM, keep that repertoire going. And then when they are ready, they're going to use you. So understand that some leads are going to be hot and want to buy right now, and some are going to be prospects for later, but put them in your pipeline and keep them in mind. Super, super beneficial.
Yes. A year in the life of a realtor goes by like that.
Yes, especially in a crazy market where we know, Phoenix is the number 4 city to move to 2022. Like it's going to be busy, it's going to be fun, and it's going to go really quickly.
Really quickly. And now, Rose, you mentioned Saturday and Sunday open houses, and your team, they have specific guidelines when it comes to doing open houses, right?
Yes,
on the
we
days
do.
and the times that
Yes.
you do them.
We do. So we do open houses Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And I can already hear someone cringing because that is a long time, right? But the beautiful thing about being a realtor is, and I'm going to quote Mike Searcy on this one, we work from home. It's just not always our home. And
Correct.
That's the beautiful thing, right? If you're getting 30 to 40 people through, which, at the height of the summer, we definitely were, you don't even really have time to breathe. And those 6 hours go by really fast. Yeah. If it's like, mine last weekend where it was 6 or 7 through on Sunday, I got a lot of phone calls made. I got a lot of emails sent. Like I got a lot of work done that, I could have done at home, but I also was getting people through the open house. So it's just one of those things. And again, that's why I say like statistics, right? Yeah, not every day is going to be crazy. Yeah, you're probably only going to be able to convert 3 to 5% depending on, how well you've built up that repertoire. But if you're not building up any rapport with them, then you're not going to be getting any new leads. So, you might have 4 hours of making phone calls, and that last hour, especially on Sundays, the last hour almost always pops. Like right about when you're ready to go home, you get about 2 to 3 groups coming through. But those might be the one, that might be your buyer. That might be your unrepresented buyer that you then get, you sell that house to. So don't ever, look at the 4 hours of nobody coming through is wasted. Make your calls, do some social media, do some marketing. And then that last hour, you could get lucky.
Right. Yeah. Time at an open house is never poorly spent.
No. And a lot of times too, you're going to get neighbors, and we'll actually door knock the neighbors and invite them to the open house for a couple of reasons. One, they want to look anyway. You might as well just invite them because they want to see if the floor plan's the same or if it's, the same model or how they upgraded it, anything like that. But at a lot of them, you're going to find a neighbor who's thinking about selling or whose friend is thinking about buying in that area. And so they're going to send their friend to the open house. So don't ever think that inviting the neighbors is a bad idea. Like, door knock it the day before, door knock it the morning of, whatever. Let them know there's an open house. Let them know to come by. A lot of times they're going to be your best leads.
Yes. Yeah. Neighbors want to know. I mean, they want to know what houses are selling for. They want to know, what the inside of a house in their neighborhood looks like. I mean, like Rose said, neighbors are super nosy. But also, what a great opportunity to open up the conversation of how much not just this home is worth, but how much their home is worth. If they've seen a lot of turnover in the neighborhood, you can get a lot of information about the neighborhood when you're, to take and work with potential clients as well. What are the schools like? What are the amenities? What's the community like? They want to talk. I've even known agents that have done specific neighbor open houses. Like they'll open up that Friday night before and they'll go around and they'll invite the neighbors to their very own open house, like preview party, because they really are. I mean, they can be some of the best clientele out there if you invite them, if you open that door per se.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of, having them just kind of looking like, oh, can I come in? Like, yeah, come on in. Let's do this. Let's talk. Super beneficial.
Now, Rose, do you have any tips when it comes to working with particular clients? So say I've got, I've got somebody that comes in, they're unrepresented, or I don't know that they're unrepresented because I haven't asked any questions. This is just, maybe a husband and wife walk through my door. How am I going to open up the conversations and get the information I need to figure out where they are, whether they're working with an agent or whether they're, how far they are in the buying process without coming across as that agent that's just asking them a million questions and barraging them as soon as they walk in the door?
I think it's all about honesty and it's all about and not being the used car salesman. And what I mean by that is, one, don't let them in without signing in. For multiple reasons, right? It's not just because, you do, obviously, you want to gather their information. You want to know where they're at and if they're with a realtor or not. You also want to, especially if the house is occupied, it's a security measure. Mm-hmm. And this last year, especially, it was a COVID tracing measure, right? If anybody tested positive in COVID and let us know at the open house, we were calling everybody that came through that open house and telling them, right? So very, very, very important that they sign in. Now, sometimes they will say that, yes, I'm working with a realtor. Sometimes they will have their realtor's business card. They don't always mean it when they say they are working with a realtor. Sometimes it's just because they've been through open houses and they've exactly gotten that pushy agent who's like, oh, well, when are you looking to buy? What's your pre-qualification? And like getting really pushy. So this is also where setting up outside is beneficial. Hey, Sarah, that's a really nice Lexus. I was thinking about that model. How do you like it? Right? Take the conversation away from the house.
It's the best car ever.
Exactly. Take the conversation away from the house. Ask them, where they're from. Like if something, they're wearing something interesting, ask them about it. Get to know them organically like you would anybody else before you try to get to know them as a client. Yes. Because that honesty and that ability to kind of throw them off that you're not asking them about the house or how long they've been looking or anything like that is going to open them up a little bit more, especially if they come in expecting you to ask all the typical realtor questions.
Yes. Yeah. A lot of times too, asking them where they're from, that can open up a whole line of conversation. Because here in Phoenix, we've got a lot of transplants. So a lot of us have that in common. So it really can. You do want to shift the conversation away from the house and to them personally, especially if this information is going to be going into your CRM. I mean, how great is it that you can have this conversation with a potential lead, take that opportunity and get to know them, not just what their buying or selling status is, but the actual information about them.
Exactly. So take notes.
Yeah, that is a really great one. Another thing I want to highlight too, Rose, is that you guys, a lot of times, you're on a growing team. A lot of times you've had agents that have come into open houses, and it has actually been, I'm just going to say the dreaded word, recruiting tool for you all. Because, let's face it, there's a lot of agents here in the Valley. There's a lot of people that, are doing real estate. There's a lot of people that have real estate agents. How do you broach that conversation sort of when you've got, individual agents that are coming in these open houses? How do you not make them feel like, because you're with EXP, like everybody knows the EXP model, right? How do you kind of, bring up the services and whatnot on your team?
Well, it depends on if I've got another agent there or not, how I approach that. So when I have another agent, it's easy, right? So usually I'm with Steve Richardson, and he brings his guitar. He is the musician. He brings his guitar to the open house. And when it's slow, he starts playing it. And that right there is social media gold. But high energy music, the way we set up, we have water out for everybody. We've got snacks as well. Just being overly friendly. We have a lot of agents that come through and they're like, man, your open houses are way more fun than mine. And so my response is always, well, why aren't you on our team then? Come to us. I'll teach you. Right?
Yeah. Super
and then
fun.
and if there's another agent there, then we can kind of be like, all right, I think that you're going to speak their language more than me, so why don't you go talk to them, and we'll kind of tag team it that way. But again, same thing, like honesty, don't be super pushy, and broach the conversation organically, especially because they're going to set it up for you most of the time. I've had multiple agents that were just like, oh my God, you guys just look like you're having so much fun. I'm like, yeah, join our team and you could too. And then I'll start talking about, the things that we do on our team that's different, and the training for the open houses and the kind of stuff that we could actually give them if they were on our team.
Right. Well, I love that. I love that you kind of set the precedence of just like, yes, this is a job, but we love doing this. We are having a great time. And I think that translates so well into, not only the clients, but any potential agents that you're going to be working with as well. Rose, we actually have a couple questions.
Yay!
So first question, this goes back to, I think, working with the clients. What's a good cue that you made a good connection? So like, what are you looking for? Like, what are the cues when you can tell that you've made a good connection with a potential lead and client?
So it usually depends on their personality type, but generally if they are offering up information to you, which they will if they've made a connection, then you know that there's definitely a connection there. Or if you're talking about sending them emails or anything like that, and they go, oh, well, let me actually change the email I put down because I don't check that one a whole lot. Like, we've had that happen, right?
Oh,
or
yeah.
Or if they asked for the data sheet and we ran out, it was like, hey, I'll text it to you real fast. I'm like, is this your number? And they'll be like, actually text it to this one. Like, that's always a good cue, right?
Funny, yeah.
If they take your card and they're actually invested in your card, that's a good cue as well. And then again, put them in the CRM, follow up either later that day or the very next day. And if they respond and they remember who you are and the conversation's there, then but usually if someone's just not feeling it, you're just not speaking their language, and you're not really there, what they picture a realtor being, you're going to know that the connection wasn't really there.
Yeah. Well, that's perfect. That goes into the next question with, how do you follow up on a hot lead?
Oh man, follow up is key. I'm so happy that question is there. again, that day. Send the text, right? Put them in your CRM, put any campaigns. And we've got a plethora of campaigns that we run off of our CRM. So put them on a campaign, but then again, text, email them through that campaign, text, call, email from your personal phone number, follow up. If they don't respond, same thing. Next day, text, call, email. Bother them until, they either tell you to stop or you get a conversation going again, you get that contract. So that is the main thing, is just follow up. And that's also why I say, like, have them sign in, make your notes, and then CRM, use your CRM.
Yep, that's what it's there for.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and no matter what CRM you use, I get the question asked all the time, what's the best CRM? The best CRM is one that you will use.
Yes.
That's it. Bottom line. Yep. Whatever CRM you have a system. I mean, I've even known top producing agents that their CRMs are Excel spreadsheets, but it works for them. So keep track of everything. And, putting right into your CRM is great because it can give you alerts. It can give you follow-up. So set it up so that as you're putting the people's information in, those next steps on how you need to contact them are already, it's just going to go. Yeah. Put it in and then get those alerts and just follow up.
Yes. And don't ever feel like you're putting in too many notes. Because notes, like it's very easy to be like, oh, I like this client, I'm going to remember everything we talked about. And then the next time you call them, if they're a prospect, especially if they're a year out, you're going to be calling them a month later going, oh God, what did we talk about? I think they have a daughter that plays volleyball, but I don't remember. Right. You don't want to be that person. Make the notes. That way, when you call, you can be like, hey, by the way, how was that volleyball tournament? And they're like, oh my God, you remember that? No, you don't remember it, but make the notes so that it's always right there. Because, as soon as you're calling 20, 30 leads, you're going to not remember everything. And just accept it, make the notes, and move on.
Right. Rose, do you have any other parting tips for us?
Don't be scared.
Yeah.
Do not be scared of the open house. Do not be scared of putting out the signs. And again, like, treat it like any other work day. You're still working, just maybe not from your house. And again, don't be pushy. Just, be you. That's really what they're for, right? If they're going to use you, they're going to use you because you're you, not because you're necessarily because you're a real estate agent. So just be yourself and, accept that not everyone coming through is going to need you or use you, but really pay attention to the ones that are.
Yeah. I mean, and open houses, this is great for no matter what level of business you are, whether you're a new agent, whether you're a seasoned agent. It doesn't mean that your business is going slow if you're doing open houses or anything like that. It really is. It's just, it's probably the best, least inexpensive tool that you can have out there for lead generating. And at Landmark Title, we've got some amazing open house kits too. I know you guys use a lot of them. Rose, one day, I think she had me make up like a dozen of these. And these have sign-in sheets and, questionnaires and forms and, even random things that you would forget, like tape and a pen and like a little open house sign and stuff like that. So, there's a lot of extra tools out there too. You don't have to get everything, and think of everything. A lot of times, partnering up with your business development manager, asking them to make you open house flyers. This is, if we're making under 30 of these, this is a free service from Landmark Title to make open house flyers. These open house kits, these are free as well. So that takes a lot of guesswork out of, whatever, getting yourself set up for these things. So, one more tip.
Flyers. Don't forget about digital flyers. Digital
Absolutely.
flyers and walkthroughs, right? If you are sharing those to the open house groups or, real estate groups on social media, like I've suddenly got an uptick this last month of people that I don't know liking my flyers and liking my videos because I'm sharing them to those platforms. So yeah, do not discount the digital flyer.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. I mean, we talk about social media all the time. And this is a great thing to supplement on your social media too. People that are following you as a real estate agent, they want to know that you are an active real estate agent, right? Yeah. They want to know out there that you're out there, you're hustling, you're working. And you never know, especially in this hot market that we have right now. You know, the statistics used to be like, I think 2% of houses sell from open houses. Is not the case anymore. Like, not at all. You know, if there's a house for sale, somebody wants to buy it. And it might be somebody within your sphere. It might be somebody that walks through that open house. So just featuring these. And another thing to note too is that most of the time you're not even doing open houses on your own house. You know, a lot of times, like if you have a listing and you can do an open house on it, awesome. But always remember too, that you can do open houses for other agents. A lot of times agents they'll be asking, can anybody do an open house on my house? So take those opportunities. Most of the time, it is advisable to do an open house within your brokerage. So you guys with EXP, you know, obviously this is a huge brokerage. You guys have a ton of houses to pick from. It's not, you know, I'm going to use the word illegal. It's not illegal to do it from another brokerage, but you do have to get permission. So just keep that in mind. And then obviously you need permission from whatever agent house it is. You can't just, you know, use your super key and show up and like, I'm going to do an open house at this house.
Yeah, that might be professionally frowned upon.
Yeah. So always make sure that you get permission. And just have fun. I mean, open houses are a really, really awesome tool for your business. So if you guys have any other questions, please let us know. You know, Rose is happy to answer them. Like I said, they've got, there we go. Go to our questions page. Questions. Rose and her team, they do amazing open houses. So if you have any questions, Rose, could you put your contact information in the chat too, as well, in case anybody has any questions they don't want to ask on the webinar. And then we're going to wrap up with some of the classes that we have coming up. This year is almost done, guys. Like, we are wrapping it up, but that doesn't mean that we still don't have a couple of classes coming up for the end of the year. So we've got the second part of the How to Invest in Real Estate workshop that we're doing. That is tomorrow from 11:30 to 2:30. So if you would like to participate in this, the first one was December 9th, but there is, like I said, there's a second one on December 16th. Investment is huge right now. A lot of people have a lot of extra equity in their homes that they're selling, and they're trying to take it to that next level and be investors. And we're not talking about, you know, big time investors. We're talking about one at a time investors. So this is a great market to target, and I highly recommend attending this workshop for it. So if you'd like that information, if you want to be there tomorrow, let me know and I will get it to you. And then we've got a CE class coming up too before the end of the year. So if you need those credits, get those credits. This one's on Zoom. I love CE Zoom classes. I think they're awesome. I think, you know, it's great to be able to sit there and have all of the information right there in my face instead of across the room. So this one is going to be on December 20th from 1 to 4, 3 hours commissioner standards. If you would like information on this, let me know. And of course, we'll get you registered for it. And then, oh my God, we're into January. Yay! So January 6th, as always, first Thursday of the month at 9:30, we do our market insights. And market insights, this is more than just your market stats. This is more than just your Cromford report. We're not only pulling apart the stats. We're not just telling you the stats. We're giving you the background on why these numbers look this way. So understanding them really can be a key component when you're out there working with clients. So hop on, find out what's going on. We're actually going to be doing some of these in person up in 2022. So be on the lookout for those as well, because we want to get together with you. We want to see your pretty faces, and we want to get you this information so that you can take it and use it with your clients. And then we've got another CE class coming up that same day. This one's going to be from 9 to noon. So if you need 3 hours of contract law, I think this one's going to be actually in person. Woo, an in-person CE class. Very exciting. So if you would like some beginning of the year credits, let us know. We can get you registered for that as well. And then we've got our CE, our Landmark Title CE schedule up and running every month, except for obviously like December or like summer months. Landmark Title brings you an online CE class. So this one is always on the third Thursday of the month, and we've got them running from January until April. So if you would like a quick, easy way to get some CE classes, I know I geek out on this. Like I think these are absolutely wonderful. I love attending them. They're great information. Obviously, I love hosting things. This is no surprise. So we've got January 20th, we've got agency. February 17th, we've got disclosure. March 17th, we've got commissioner standards. And then April 21st, which is also my birthday, we have contract law. So if you're interested in any of these, we have the links. They're registering. There will be individual flyers with more information, but I wanted to get that up to you and get it out to you because we've got No Marketing Matters coming up the rest of the year. That's right. The holidays, we get busy. So we're going to take off Marketing Matters. However, there are about 60 different Marketing Matters on our YouTube channel. So if you really miss this in the next couple of weeks and you're like, man, it's Wednesday, it's 10, I really wish I could get on Marketing Matters. Well, guess what? You can just go rewatch some of our Marketing Matters. And we will see you back in the new year. We're going to be starting out with an industry expert panel. We did this. This was our kickoff to 2021. We're going to bring our industry experts back, but not for just one webinar. We're going to bring them back for 2 webinars. We're going to cover 2021 marketing. What was hot? What was not? What were the trends that we saw? And then we're going to go on the next webinar into 2022. What you need to be doing for your marketing of your real estate business. So we're going to kick that off. And then later in January, we actually have the new commissioner coming on. So you guys won't want to miss that. Keep looking at your emails, keep checking out social media. We'll get you all of that information. And that's it for us today, guys. Thank you, of course, to Rose. That was great information.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's no wonder your open houses are so successful and that you enjoy doing them and that this is a heart of your real estate business. So thank you. And then as always, thank you to our business development management team. You guys are amazing. Any marketing needs, if you're interested in open house flyers, if you're interested in open house kits, give them a call. They'll get it into your hands and you will be better equipped for whatever you're doing, whether it be open houses or any other type of marketing for your business. So thank you to Becky, I'm mashing Beth and Becky together. Beth, Becky, Melinda, Mary, Patty, Eric in Las Vegas, and Michael. You guys are awesome. And then as always, thank you to Landmark Title for allowing us to bring you Marketing Matters every Wednesday at 10 a.m. and all of the other classes that you see up there. We have 7 offices across the valley to service you. So wherever you're doing a deal, there is a Landmark Title office to help you, even in Prescott. Yep, we're in Prescott now too. So please think of us on your next deal. We love working with you. Our escrow officers are always happy to help. And everybody have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we'll see you in 2022.
Woo-hoo.
Woo! Thanks, Rose.
Thank you.